Hey, everybody, we're back.
Yay, we're back.
It's been a fun summer. So Gladys actually messaged me yesterday and said, hey, are we going to do a show tomorrow? I'm like, yeah,
Well,
we should.
we were supposed to meet last Friday and I had to reschedule because client, that was on my calendar and I was like, oops, hadn't added that client on my calendar from 3 weeks ago. Got the reminder, yes, we're on. Okay. And Tim, I got to reschedule.
So we still don't have a plan. Yeah, see, because we didn't have a plan down what we're going to do in September. We didn't do that because I have spent the past month and a half living out of suitcases at other people's houses.
When that happens.
But as you say, I kind of have a studio set up. Kind of. I mean, all the important equipment is finally working. I did one test broadcast with it the other day, and that's it. You know what I mean? I've done a Zoom meetings with my mastermind, but I have not done a broadcast like this. Last week, Katrina and I were going to try to start our broadcast back up last week, and I had workers in the house. Still, I couldn't do it. So let's wind down a busy summer with some wine.
That's right. So what I just was introduced to these two wines not that long ago. One of them is the Big Red Barn, which I was debating if I'm going to open it or not because summer's about whites. But I brought this one in just because it's been opened. But the one I really wanted to feature is the 2019 Danube Wines Fionn Phyllis Pinot Gris from the Willamette Valley.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I was at a fundraiser last Thursday, and they had the wine and beer here, and then there was another card that said Bubbles in these big block letters that said Bubbles. So I'm like, oh, Bubbles? Okay, well, do I want Bubbles or do I want beer wine? And so I said, hold that thought. So I'm looking and debating, what do I want? And then the bubbles were mainly like the sodas that they had, which were their Italian, I guess, sodas. They were putting bubbles in them and some other things. And I was like, I'm not sure if that's what I really want. So I said, well, maybe some wine. Let me think about it. And so the guy's overhearing my conversation that I'm having with myself. And so he opens the bottle and he pours it, just a little taste. And he's talking about that they use the sugar to cause the bubbles. And this wine just was so refreshing. We were outdoors. It was for Expose Hope. They're here in Oregon. They help women that are being trafficked or are in the Ladies of the Evening life to get out of that life if they want to, giving them resources. And so it was outdoors. It was stiletto and boots. So I'm wearing a cute dress with my cowboy boots. And I thought, it's outdoorsy. This tasted really good. And I said, yeah, how much sugar is in it? He says the sugar, it goes away when they're doing all the fermenting. They use the sugar that causes the bubbles. They capture the bubbles, but the sugar dissipates. And I said, well, this calls for, a bottle. And he says, how many glasses do you want? And I said, glasses? I said, so I have to share? So I counted the number of people on my table and I got the glasses and shared with everybody else, but there was still some left over. So I'm like, you know what? When you said wind down summer, I thought this is the epitome of a wind down summer. Just very refreshing, delicious local wine that has bubbles without being a sparkling wine. And there's a lot of Oregonian wineries that are going towards the twist top. And then some of them that are still using the cork, they're not using cork, they're using something else to try to save the corks. Yeah. Yep. So synthetic. So I've learned that there are some really good wines that are twist tops, where I used to foo-foo it many years ago, but done a good job.
No. I want to tell you the truth, is every Sauvignon Blanc that I get from New Zealand
is twist top.
Screw top. All right, and I can't tell you the last time I've had a bad, a bad Sauvignon Blanc.
Nice.
And they're all screw top. So.
Yeah, it's just finding that right wine, and this one from the Willamette Valley. So if you look at, and I think we had talked about this when we did the Pinot Noirs some months ago, but Oregon, when you look at the lines that go across, when you look where France is and where Oregon is, we're on that same meridian. So
Yeah.
our weather here in Oregon is very much a lot of the weather that you get in France, where you get some delicious Merlots, delicious Pinot Noirs. So that's what Oregon is known for, is Pinot Noirs. But we have some delicious wines. So this one comes from the Willamette Valley, which is half an hour south of where I live. I'm in the Willamette Valley, but where the majority of vineyards are about a half hour south of me. And this is locally sourced. They want sustainable. The winemaker Joe Williams, that started in 2011, he had been in the restaurant industry for 30 years. And he opened up a restaurant in 2001, sold it, opened up another one in 2005, using local wines, pairing them with seafood. And he absolutely loved doing that. He then went to work for Panther Winery, and then Carlton Cellars. Carlton is one of the larger ones in Carlton, Oregon. And he learned how to do very specific fermentations. And so in 2011 was when he made his first batch of Pinot Noir, and then started from there. So this is a fairly new winery that produces. They're more of a producer than an actual grower, because they source all the grapes from local vineyards and then make the wines from there. And their average bottle is about $22. This one, at the price point of $16, I probably should have gotten another one to go. But the tasting room is really close. It's in Hillsboro, Oregon, which is, depending on traffic, about 45 minutes from where I live. And they just have good wines. I tasted a couple of others, but this is the one that I couldn't resist and I had to get.
So I just decided to grab one of my, I hear that. I just decided to grab one of my Messina Hoff, which is a Texas winery.
Okay, perfect.
What we call Tex Zen. I just literally went over to the rack and I figured I'm going to be a Texas wine. No, I didn't chill any whites. Okay. We don't have a wine cooler here, so I have to chill it in the refrigerator. And just didn't think to do it this morning. So I thought, well, I'm just going to have a red Zen. So.
Yes, so that you can Zen out and enjoy this one.
Now, when I have wine and I'm having it at home, I don't know if you're this way. I don't pour a full glass. I pour about that much. Let it breathe.
Yep.
I'm not the sniff, cut, all that stuff. No, but I let it breathe.
Yes.
And the way I figure is, I know I could always pour a little bit more.
Yes, I do that with my brown liquors. I'll pour in just a little bit, and then pour in just a little bit more. Could I pour the full pour? Yes, I could, but I like to sip and enjoy, and then go back for more. Yeah. And I might have the same amount. I might have less, because sometimes that's all I want, just a little bit, just enough to just enjoy. And so.
So looks like Cindy's stopping by.
Hi, Cindy.
All right, and she's actually letting us know that she does her calendar, so she knows what the local wine thing is in October. We're up on things, but not that up on things.
Yeah, she's
we're just drinking it and enjoying it. We're not. No, anyway. Rena. So Rena actually moved. She said from Chicago. I heard she moved from Chicago to Houston. All right, and I got to touch base with her. So anyway. Nice. I went and grabbed a charcuterie board from the store from Kroger and just thought I'd have a little bit of wine and cheese.
Yeah, Kroger does a really good job with their charcuterie boards. What I did is that I had so Tillamook is a local, they make cheese and they make ice cream, what have you. So I have this smoked yellow cheddar, and then I also have an extra sharp white cheddar. The white cheddar is Lucerne, but the Tillamook, that's the local. The meat is also local. And then, of course, I had to get local olives because, hello. And the strawberry jam that I got was one of my clients made it from locally sourced strawberries. So that was made here. And so my little board, I kind of made today, just kind of chopped up and added what I had. Really, truly, I did not go buy anything special. This is what was in the fridge. And so when you said charcuterie board,
I didn't either. It's still in the plastic tray.
Hey, but it's a black plastic tray, which makes it look nice. Did they also add the chocolate? Sometimes they'll have those little chocolates.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They have the olives and the chocolates, and oh my God, they're green olives only, and green olives are actually pretty good.
So this particular wine, because of it's really not sweet. It's not dry. It's more dry than sweet, but it's in that middle because I don't like sweet. This one goes well with pork. So I have barbecued pork in here that I had bought at Kroger, and then some spicy foods, mushrooms, as well as cured meat. So if you're having something spicy, this one is going to tone down that spice. It has that nice balanced flavor. You get a little bit of pear or lemony, so very fruity, very summery, well balanced. The color is just this gorgeous light color that almost looks like
it looks like a lemonade type look from on the camera.
Yeah, yes, it does. That's exactly the way it looks like. Is like lemonade. And the reason that they picked Anu as the name is that it's the goddess of the most ancient Celtic deities, or Celtic, I guess, deities. And so it's about Earth. So they have an Alaska spirit with an Oregonian flair for Earth, for Mother Earth. So everything is very locally sourced, and so that's why the name. That's why everything that they do is sustainable. They're trying to do the least amount of impact on the Earth, and so it just kind of fell in line with who they're utilizing, and as well as giving back to community. So that's why I was like going, hey, and for the price point, I love that. I'm like, when you have a $16 bottle of wine, it's like, this is an easy pick up at the store and open it up for friends during the summer. So this is perfect for a wind down summer session.
Mm-hmm. No,
this goes well. I like it.
I'm curious. I mean, when we talk about wines, do you open a bottle of wine with dinner at night?
We did yesterday.
Would you?
We did, because we had steaks. So it was a Pinot Noir.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on what I'm having for dinner. Sometimes I'll have like a little bit of scotch before dinner, just like as an aperitif. Then, maybe a half a glass of wine with dinner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. Other times I'll just have a little bit of the wine. Like yesterday, we had opened up the bottle to breathe. Yeah. And so a little bit of it. And since we were prepping and everything, it was like I picked it up, took a couple of sips, set it down, continued prepping, and then we had our wine with dinner. So it just depends on what I'm having. And yesterday was have some red wine day. Other days it's have some white wine days. And if we're sitting outside, definitely want a white wine, as we have dinner, in an al fresco setting.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. Did you open up a bottle of wine for your welcoming into your new home?
Well, we did have some champagne. We had our first glass of champagne. I want to say it was Saturday. All right. We had the bottle. We just waited till Saturday to open it because we've not both been here. All right. I did a lot of work and stuff before we really nested down in here. But like our first sit down dinner, that we had, and it really wasn't like, we didn't cook because we really didn't have, we actually had to replace all the appliances.
Oh gosh.
So the cook, they worked, but they didn't work the way we wanted to work. And still, I left my grill at the old house, and I'm using my mom's grill. Even my mom's grill doesn't work the way I'm used to cooking on my grill. All right.
Right.
So we've been mostly doing, like salad mixes with a little bit of meat that we had to cook. So, or we'd pick up. We'd been picking up some meat and vegetables, and then making a salad because we can make that, and it didn't require us to cook. But our first night, yeah, I mean, we opened. I went and pulled a. Oh, it was another bottle of it from this winery, Messina Hoff, which is a Texas winery that we are VIP members at.
Nice.
We opened a bottle from that, and I think we just about finished the bottle off with dinner between the three of us. Yeah. So.
Yeah, sometimes it just depends, what is it to sit on the deck and have, something nice and other times it's we want to have it with dinner.
No.
Hey,
it's Robert and Cindy Lee. Hey, Sean and Sean's chiming in. So how's Sean doing, by the way?
He is recovering very well.
Is he? Good.
Yeah,
Take care of yourself, Sean. Glad you're getting better. So
he can walk without a walker and mainly without a cane.
Cool. So I mean, like one of the first nights after we were doing work on the house. I mean, we would work, and some nights we'd crash here, some nights we'd go down to Ruben's house while we were working, depending on how late. And basically, we had a mattress on the floor.
Oh,
basically, we threw like a pair of old sheets onto it because like we were tired, we'd just crash, right?
Yeah.
And we,
But at least you had something comfortable that you could.
So it was somewhat comfortable. And like one of the first nights we did that, we were like, well, I'm going to take a shower before I lay down and go to bed. So I go get in the shower. All right. And Gwen she can't find anything. So she just is leafing through the boxes of alcohol and finds that whiskey that you and I got from John Rich's company. And she just gets it and pours herself a glass and brings it out. Oh my gosh. I come back out of the shower. She goes, this is good whiskey. What is this? I can't remember the name of it now, but she tells me the name of it. And I said, well, yeah, that's John Rich from Big and Rich. That's his whiskey. And she goes, oh, really? You know what I mean? And we said we have, and we're doing it out of like solo cups. Because I
was going to ask you if you had like a coffee mug that you had poured it in. Because I did that the other day. I was like, it's like, where are the good glasses? The ones that you could put in a big cube in. And I said, just grab that, coffee mug. It'll fit in there. And then it's like, well, how much do I pour? I said, this time measure it. I said, because if you try to cover the ice cube, no, that's too much. So, but yeah. So that was the Redneck Riviera moment right there, sitting, outside and just enjoying.
We didn't have ice. We had to go to 7-Eleven to get ice because the freezer, I disconnected the water line on the refrigerator that was left here when I was cleaning out that corner.
Okay.
So it wasn't making ice.
Oh gosh.
So I just ran to 7-Eleven around the corner and got a bag of ice and kept it in the refrigerator, and that's what I was doing for ice. We got our new refrigerator and we got all of our new appliances like last Thursday.
Oh yay.
All right. And we're finally able to, make ice. I mean, I think it was like a Saturday night. We were finally able to start making ice. All right. But we finally unpacked, glasses last week and dishes because we were eating paper plates. And we went to the store and bought 4 plastic cups. And this is what we use for everything for like 2 weeks.
You know what? That's okay.
And I bought a pair of silverware that was like, party silverware. It's like, plastic, right? But it looked like, designer silverware, flatware.
I love those.
It worked for 2 weeks, so.
There you go. It's okay. It's temporary. You were doing what you needed to do to get your place ready, and now you have nice appliances, which is so important. So I've been kind of mixing the fruit with the cured meat with the 2 different cheeses and the pork and the strawberry jam with the pork and the wine. And I'm liking, the only thing I haven't had yet are the olives, but the flavors are going very well with this wine. So it is a very versatile wine, and that is nice to have, because especially if you are having company over and you're eating different things, you know that no matter what they're eating, the wine is going to pair well with either something sweet or something savory, whether they're having fruit, a jam, pork, cheese, or cured meats. It's going to go very well.
You know, and I find that as I learn taste over the years. Now, and I learned my taste from being in the coffee shops, right? And that helped me learn to taste other things, right? And I'm not a big fan of, like, you know, you and I met because we were talking whiskeys, and I'm a moonshine guy.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of all these sugary flavored moonshines.
Yeah.
I like an old fashioned, straight. I guess they would call it white lightning, but it's not really white lightning. It's real old fashioned moonshine, what the original was. We were at this bar that used to be a moonshine bar here in Dallas and Frisco area, and we were there the day my mom closed on her house, selling her house, and with my real estate agent. And I said, well, what do you got? And he says, well, he gave me a list of what they have, and they had this butterscotch.
Okay.
Butterscotch moonshine.
Okay.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Timmy was in love.
Okay.
No.
And it's a local.
I don't know where it's made. All right, but I mean, it's not something that's listed on their menu. That's what sucks, is I can't get it. Where'd you get it? But I started going through. I mean, I haven't gone through now. I use Total Wine and More.
Right.
When I was down at the old house, but there's not a Total Wine and More up here. It's most of the biggest stores are Specs.
Oh yeah, I remember. I love Specs. That was nice when I was in El Paso. Going into Specs, it was just like you could spend hours in there. That was where I got introduced to Topo Chico. It was like at the end of the aisle, and I needed something, a water, and it was like, and I was like, what the heck is that? Got to try it. So that's where I was introduced to Topo Chico before they got bought out and became as big as they are. Because when I moved to Oregon in 2011, you could not find Topo Chico out here. And after they got bought out, now it's mainstream. You can find it. Now they have seltzers. Now they have different flavors. They have the lime, the lemon, and the regular. Their seltzers are okay. I'm not a big seltzer fan, so it tastes too watered down, in my opinion. It doesn't have that nice punch. But they've grown, so yeah. But yeah, I like Specs, the little bunny. I love their mascot.
So, I mean, we were pretty silent over the month of August. What is some of the things that you did during the month of August? That, what did you go? You do some runs? I know Sean had an operation, but yeah.
So it was looking after Sean, making sure he was doing okay, and driving him around for almost maybe 2.5 weeks, close to 3 weeks, where he really couldn't drive. It was a right hip replacement, so that's your driving leg. Mm-hmm. And doctor said, well, when you can do this, with your foot, practice on the couch. And it's like, okay, so if I'm driving, then it's like, okay, stop. It's like, okay, I'm stopping. Then at last it's like, okay. And then and it's like, yeah, at that point, you've already crashed into all these vehicles. So
what was that movie? As Good as It Gets, with Jack Nicholson and Diane, what is it, right? Where the doctor said, he said to the doctor, when can I have sex again? When you can climb the flight of stairs. And every set of stairs he went by, he looked at. Was that Sean? Every car he drove by, he looked at. Can I do it?
Yeah, it took him a moment. So kind of balancing between caregiving and work. We did go visit my brother down in California, my sister-in-law, and spent some time out there to just chat, relax. We did everything we did was local. Everything was in Ventura. Because if you're going outside of Ventura, you're driving anywhere between an hour to 2 hours to get to anything. Mm-hmm. And we're like, do we really want to spend the time driving? And so we just spent it, just spending time with family, enjoying time, playing cards against humanity. We spent, I think, 5 days in a row. We just, every evening we'd come to the table and we had it, and we'd we just play and just had a good old time. We bought an extra deck while we were out there, and it was just a lot of fun to just relax. And that's when I think Sean really took time to rest and sleep. He did a lot of sleeping in, which he was not doing out here in Oregon. I still worked, so I was still in my meetings. I was still doing the things. I went on runs. It was an adventurous run. At one point, my brother messaged me and he's all, "Do I need to come to get you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm 2.5 miles away from the house," but it was this crossing over the freeway that was just not a nice bridge. There was really no true sidewalk, and I'm like, "Well, I could be careful." He goes, "I'll just come get you," and I said, "Okay, let me run to," and I told him where we were going to meet. And he and Sean picked me up. I said, "The taco place," where the taco place is. Well, there's this taco truck that comes every day except for Mondays, where they have they're cooking the meat on the spigot, and then you can get it was like good food. Oh my goodness, delicious tacos. It was well worth the wait. And then the watermelon drink, and then the horchata and the jamaica. It was just really good food. So we knew where exactly we were going to meet, and then drove me over the bridge. So instead of 13 miles, I ran, I think, only 11 or 12 miles. So I cut it a little short, but it was just the adventure of being out there and running in new territory, finding new trails was fun. And then this last Saturday, I ran a terrain race, which was a 5K with obstacles through the mud, going up ropes, going over the walls and doing monkey bars. So right now my arms and my body are very upset with me. And then I changed and I went and I ran another 5K, which was the Run for Beer at a brewery. So did that before I came home, and then took a nap because I needed a nap. And then we went to see Roger Waters at the Moda Center. So the whole Pink Floyd thing, that was a lot of fun. So that was
I've seen the pictures on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of fun, but August was just trying to, do a lot of my training with the carriers for open enrollment that's coming up, and just keeping up. So, we tried to do some fun things, but when you have somebody that's healing from a surgery, it's more about downtime whenever we could get it. So not a whole lot of adventuring out. The adventure out was going down to California, and that was good times.
Well,
What besides moving and trying to adjust everything, did you get any fun time in between everything, all the craziness that was going on with you and your move?
Well, the first few weeks after we moved out of the condo, Gwen's company opened a new one of our new gift shops up in Chicago, outside of Chicago, and it included a coffee shop.
Oh, nice.
Part of the deal that they got was it came with a coffee shop and a gift shop space. So they took on the task of running the coffee shop. Well, I worked for Starbucks for 5 years. So during that time, my wife's like, "Would you come up, since we're in between houses anyway? Would you be willing to come up and be with me and help starting this up?" And I mean, I jumped into making coffees for people. I had a blast making coffees. But then while up there, I got to experience some great foodie places. We went, and the CEO of her company was up there as well, Justin. And we went to a brewery the first night. And the brewery, it was a brewery and brew house type thing. And we get in there, and because we were working 12 hours, 13 hours a day trying to set up this shop.
Right.
So by the time we go for dinner, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we get the most interesting places between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. The brewery, we get in there and they're doing trivia night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, Justin's just not into trivia night. All right. He's there to eat, right? He wants to eat, go back to the hotel room and crash.
Right.
But Gwen and I went back there on another night. And they stayed in. We tried a couple different things on their menu. They did pretty good there. But most of their beers, many of their beers, some were brewed in-house and some of them were mixed from stuff. Then the one place that we kept saying we're going to go to. All right. as after Justin left. It was right across from the hospital, literally like where the traffic light was. It's catty corner.
Okay.
It was this little shopping center, like, you know, building shopping. Like when I say shopping center, it was a building, right?
Okay.
In the corner of the building on the traffic light side is this Italian restaurant and bar.
Okay.
So Gwen and I go in there for dinner one night, and I get my linguine and clams and white sauce.
Oh.
Which coming from the Northeast, like that's how you tell. That's like the sign of how you tell an Italian restaurant is authentic, is how well they make that dish.
All right. I have not seen it with the white sauce. I have seen it with the red sauce. So now, okay, white sauce. Okay.
Well, white sauce is, you know, the white sauce is getting it right and getting the right taste to it.
Right.
That I got to tell you, growing up, my dad and I, we'd go into these little family-owned Italian places, and that's how we can tell if they were real family Italian places.
Okay.
Is that one dish, right?
Nice.
So I have that. All right, I'm in heaven. Well, I'm done that. The next day, I'm like, well, where am I going to go for lunch? I'm like, I'm going back there. So I go to the bar side, not the restaurant side, and sit at the bar. I have a great conversation because there's a bar, but it's got a sports type theme to it.
Okay.
Still same Italian kitchen, same Italian menu, but they have these lunch specials.
Okay. Well, what was on the lunch special?
The lunch special they have is a meatball sub. We're talking meatballs. 4 meatballs like this.
Wow, on one sub. How big was this hoagie? Like a foot long?
Like standard, like foot long hoagie size. Right? Maybe it might have been like, instead of a foot, it might have been like 10 inches, right?
Right.
So sure. But still, like this thing was like, my total bill was like with a Coke was like $6.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
like, I left the lady like a $5 tip on a $6 thing. And she goes, "What are you doing that for?" I'm like, I'm sorry, in Dallas, even if a hole in the wall, all right, you'd pay $50 for that lunch. You know?
Oh, nice. I did, you know, it was kind of nice being in this town because it's big, but it's small. And we get to know you. So it was like really nice. We go into one bar and they know my brother by name, you know, so it was like, he's all, I guess they know me here. It's like, you think? He has the cell phone number to the owner of the one restaurant and to the manager of the other restaurant. I mean, it was like just so much fun. On one of them, we got a shot of Mexican candy, which was a mix that they had made at that Mexican restaurant. Wow. And then we went to another restaurant where he had made a limoncello that had been fermenting for 2 weeks. Wow. He was working at an old fashioned, but it was not going to be corked, if you will, because he had it in a barrel until the Tuesday when we came back to Oregon. So I was so bummed that I didn't get to taste the old fashioned. But it was just that we had some Ozo at the Greek restaurant. They had a whole thing on the outside. It was just, they catered to my brother, my sister-in-law, because we were visiting, and that was just so special. Got videos. Some of them I posted on our Facebook, you know, thanking them. Yeah, because it was just so special, so different that, hey, if you're in the area, go check out these local places that do these things that are really for themselves, but for the locals. And if there's those that are coming into the area, they're visiting, that's okay. They get to enjoy what is being done for them to cater to the locals. So it was fun. So you go out to the website, go to Facebook, look like the way you drink, and check out some of these drinks that you really can't find. They're very specialty drinks. So you got to experience some fun stuff in Chicago. I got to experience some fun things in Ventura, California. And if you haven't posted pictures, you should post it on the Facebook page, because I don't know that you did that. You normally
didn't. Okay, no. So I got called out by my mastermind on this, right?
Oh, what'd they call you out on? What'd you do?
I'm doing the painting of this house, and what I did is I decided to paint the house when I got quotes from painters. All right, I had a time frame. The prices to paint was outrageous. And I basically said, I like to paint. I'll paint the damn house myself. And I literally said to my wife, we took possession on the 19th of August.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, I will have the entire house painted by September 1st. September 1st at 12:22 in the morning. I painted the last wall.
12:22. You're like, I'm gonna do it. Nice.
Yep. But my mastermind kept saying, well, did you take pictures of what it used to look like? I didn't take pictures of the process, and it made me think, for a lot of these projects I'm doing here, all I need to do is get one of those time-lapse cameras.
Oh, there you go.
Put it up and time-lapse what I'm doing.
Yep.
And it would have taken all the photos I needed. My mastermind said, you're the guy teaching us content, but you're not creating the content on the process. And I'm like, you're right. I'm not.
Here's the process, man.
Yeah. So.
No, watching those time lapse is amazing. And everybody's moving around. They look like they're just, on a Red Bull or something. Just, But it's fun to watch because you get to see that transformation so much quicker when it took a week, but yet it's being done in 2 minutes. So yeah, see, you should have at least done the before and after.
I didn't do some of the befores, but I have pictures before of what the house looked like when we bought it.
Well, there you go. You do have some befores, but once you take pictures of the afters. But do you have any other projects that you're going to be working on?
No, this place is loaded with projects. Yesterday, one of the things I have to get done is on the garage side. My mom's going to turn the garage into her a suite for herself.
Oh, okay, like a mother-in-law's quarters, only for your mom.
So, and it has a room in there she uses for a bedroom, but she wants to turn the other one into her bedroom, which is what right now it has a garage door and it's a workshop.
Okay.
So I have to take the back carport and close the back carport fully. It was half enclosed. I got to fully enclose it.
Okay.
So that I can put my tools and stuff in there that they can be out of the weather. Well, I went back yesterday and figured, I'll tear it apart. It took me all day to tear it apart. And as I'm tearing it apart, I'm sneezing and everything. So finally I pull everything out of there and power wash it down so it can dry for a day. And then put it all back, put everything back inside so it's under cover.
Right.
What I thought was going to take 2 hours took me 9 hours. So I'm like, yeah, everything around here is a project that's going to take work.
See, your time-lapse camera, that's the best way to go. Just, show us what you're doing and show us your creative side and how to. You can spin this into how can we do our thing in our business in that fashion.
Yeah.
You always have that creative way about you. So show us how to do it, Tim. Come on.
I don't want to be one of the guys. It's always weird on my content creation. I don't want to be one of the guys doing, another house renovation YouTube channel.
It's not about that because you're going to turn it into a business spin. How do you spin this into a business concept?
Yeah.
So it's not about renovating your house. Yes, it is, but it's beyond that.
The first few days of painting, I kept getting sidetracked.
Squirrel.
Yeah, I do. All right. And I'm like, how do I get myself focused to get this done? Mm-hmm. And I think it was the end of the third day when the way it picked up was I did the kitchen, living room combined because it's almost like a combined living space with a half wall between it. My problem was I should have stopped at that point and come down with a plan. When I moved into the bedroom, I'm going to tell you this. I got up, I prepped most of the bedroom. I got up one morning, put a cover over the bed and put the tape in the different areas, pulled the sprayer out, painted the ceiling, the trim, the walls, took all the paper and tape back down and took the cover off the bed, the mattress, and slept on that night. When I actually stopped and realized I maybe should read my own book on how to do things simple, easy way, one step at a time. And I told my mastermind that, and they're like,
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's too funny. Too funny.
Wow. Anyway.
Yeah, my brother is also working on their place. You know, they're doing a lot of updates, and they're going to work on the inside first before they work on the outside. And it's just a process. Whenever you have a fixer-upper, you know what? But you get to make it the way you like it. You get to put the colors you want. You get to put in the appliances you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of reinventing ourselves. When we're reinventing ourselves, how are we doing it? What are the steps that we're taking to get there? And what's the plan that we do before we start working on it all? Because you did your research in finding out how much is it going to cost to have somebody pay somebody to paint it, and then how much is my time worth, and is my time worth doing the things? And sometimes, absolutely, somebody else do it. My newsletter. Mm-hmm. Somebody else takes care of my newsletter. Somebody else does my bookkeeping. Somebody else does my payroll. You know, so it's definitely worth it to pay somebody else to do the things that, one, I don't enjoy doing. It's not that I don't know how to do them. I just don't enjoy doing them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know how to do it with the newsletter. That's one thing. I write the articles, give it to her, and then she takes care of it. So it's not that I know how to do the articles. I just don't know how to put it together and send it out. And yeah. If I had taken on that project, guess what? A year and a half later, my newsletter would still not be going out.
Well, no, I need to go back. I actually, in 2022, I kind of laid off my newsletter.
Okay.
I think you're subscribed to my newsletter list, that I kind of slacked off. And I realized, man, I need to get this thing back going. Even if I go back to doing it on a monthly basis and on a weekly basis.
Yeah, monthly's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, it gives you don't have to worry about it. I do it monthly with my individuals, with my business clients. It's going to be quarterly. But yeah, I have somebody else that reminds me, hey, I need your articles. And then she started, or they started doing our BNI article or our newsletter too. And then there's other things like I can do very well the bookkeeping. I don't have time for that. You know, it's like, hey, you know, it's just hire out if it's something you don't enjoy or something that you could be doing something other than that.
Well,
you know, it's okay. It's okay.
So Friday morning, my birthday was Saturday. Yeah. All right. Friday morning, my wife starts texting me early. She kept telling me, like, your delivery's coming. All right. She tried to make me think it was wine. It was all kinds of things. I kept saying, now, you got to understand the Gillette boys growing up. All right. We grew up in a small town, kind of like the town I live in now, right? It's just very similar. The first thing we did when we looked at the pictures of this property, all four of us boys, kind of like in unison, said, you know, the one thing you could get with that property? A John Deere tractor.
Of course.
So,
because it's a property, it's not just property.
It's just under an acre. So, my wife, she kept saying, all I kept saying, like as a joke, going, "Yep, I'm gonna get me my John Deere. I'm gonna get me my John Deere. I'm gonna get me," and all I'm doing is trying to skip the budget all the way along so I have enough money left to buy my John Deere. Now I just got a John Deere lawn tractor, not a John Deere tractor, right? Because that's all I need. I don't need bigger.
About that, you know, before you bought the property, you were talking about John Deere.
I know, I was. You and I, yeah, because you and I have had proper conversations about it. But anyway, this was what was sitting on my driveway when I got out on Friday morning.
Nice, Gwen, you done good.
So, guess what I did on Friday?
You got on the John Deere tractor.
I mowed my lawn on Friday. I'm telling you, I left it. Wait a minute. The one thing I did with it was I have my other pair of glasses that have the tint onto them for sunglasses.
Okay.
But I have sunglasses that I just put on when I'm outside. Well, I took the tinted ones and I kept them on my shirt with me, and I didn't have my phone with me. And I don't know why. I should have left the tinted glasses in here because I really didn't need them outside with the sunglasses. Well,
did you drop them?
Wait a minute. No, I leaned over to look at something, and they're in this bag in pieces. I ran over them with the tractor. But I've learned this, all right, because Sunday I did the final trim out in the backyard, right, when I got my edger, right, and everything. Sunday I left the phone, the glasses, I put on a hat and sunglasses, and I went out, and I realized from now on, one great thing when you're in the internet marketing is to leave your phone inside and go outside and do some work without it.
That's okay.
Hey, I had a blast on Sunday when I didn't have to answer my phone every 15 minutes.
There you go. I get those calls where they all come in at the same time this morning. That happened to me. One of my meetings got moved, but during that hour, I ended up with like 5 calls all clustered together. And then I'm like running into my 12 o'clock meeting. I've gotten 2 calls since we've been on the podcast, and I'm like, nope. It's like, leave a message. It's
right here. Robert just put that out there. Mowing the lawn is a form of meditation.
You know what, Sean, what he does is that he puts on his headphones, listens to his book. His audiobook headphones are on, and then the other muffled ones are on top. So when he is mowing the lawn, he has no idea what's going on around him. He is focused on mowing the lawn, and he enjoys mowing the lawn for whatever crazy reason. I'm like, have at it. I'm like,
I do it without the music or out the things in my ear. I just do it. And I'm like, to me, music is that freaking mower engine humming. That's music to my ears. But
there you go.
I remember as a kid, my buddy Jim and I, my high school best friend Jim, we used to go to drag strip, the drag race strip. It was about a 45-minute ride from our house, the main one, near Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And we would get there, and about a mile before you get there, traffic slows down. And we got there one time, and he's with his girlfriend, and he just rolls the windows down and shuts the radio off. And she goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He goes, "Listen to the music of the engines purr," right? Because you could hear the drag. I mean, from a mile away, you can hear the dragsters take off, right? It's like, that's music. And I'm like, sometimes, as Robert just put it, sometimes certain things are meditation. And I learned that my lawn mowing experience every week or every, however many days I do it, I'm going to watch how my lawn grows, because I'm going to use that as my get outside and meditate.
And the thing is, y'all, meditation is not about, a lot of times you hear meditation about clearing your mind, not thinking about anything. But truly, that's not what meditation is. Meditation could be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. It could be mowing the lawn and just listening to the engine of the lawnmower, making sure and it doesn't have to be a John Deere. It could be your little mower. I mean, growing up, I had one of those that just.
Wait a minute. Yeah. It could be. No. Don't you ever say it doesn't have to be a John Deere. It could be a real mower. No, John Deere is the real mower.
No, not a real mower, because some of us don't have a lawn that requires a John Deere.
So what you have is a push mower.
Yeah.
Let's get the terminology right.
Push mower, yes. Well, growing up, I had one of those that spun around that you had to manually push and pull in order for it to cut. But it could be being in the garden. It could be doing whatever that one thing is. It could be listening to your book or reading your book. It could be being out in nature, putting your feet in the ocean. There's a lot of different things. For me, it's running. That's my time where I am either I tune out everything and I focus on my body. What's my body saying to me right now? What is it doing? How do I feel? How's my breathing? How is my pace? Or it could be sometimes it's just about thinking about business as I'm running, because as I'm running, all of a sudden an idea comes up and it's like, oh yeah, that one thing that I was trying to figure out, all of a sudden it comes up. So meditation could be about helping you think about things that are going to help you in your business, or it could be about just blocking everything out of life just so that you focus on this one thing that helps you then cope with everything else. So your form of meditation can be a little different. So don't expect meditation to just be a hum and sitting on the floor, thinking about nothing and blocking out it could be, but it doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you got your John Deere tractor. Yay.
So yeah, that was one of the great things this past weekend. And I did, like I said, Sunday morning, I get up within an hour. Because when I first got it, the backyard was so thick. I just left it on the highest setting and went through to mow down as much as I could. And then I fine cut it on Sunday. But I got the front lawn I could run through and fine cut it. It was not as bad. The back was like a hayfield. And
gosh.
yeah, now I've got it down to a place that within 10 to 11 days it should be trimmable.
Nice.
And I'll go back over it again. But it's a form of meditation, and you know what I mean? And that's, it's part of what we talk about in our podcast here is, enjoying things.
Yes.
And I do. I find things that I enjoy, and getting on that riding lawnmower is going to be something that I enjoy, and I enjoy greatly. I think as a time to just check out and get away from the desk. You know what I mean? And the only time I come into the computer is like when I'm researching something. Like, okay, what do I do this? So I go in and Google it, right? But other than that, I don't think I was on this computer at all for the first time. First of all, I didn't get it hooked up until last week was the first day I got it hooked up, like Thursday or Wednesday. So
very cool. Congratulations. Yay. Some downtime.
Yeah. So
this is great.
Did you only do the one wine tip? You didn't taste that or open another bottle?
I did not open the other one. I could. I have a clean glass.
You don't have to. We only got a couple minutes left. So but I was just curious on your taste. I really love. So I took this Texas Zen. Guys, I really love Zens. All right, and Zens are really good. Zens are really good, like a red meat type wine. All right. Normally, if I was having a steak, I would probably have this bottle open. I think we're actually going to have lamb chops for dinner tonight, and I think that's another reason why I chose this bottle as opposed to the other one I was going to do. Going, man, I know this will be we'll be able to have a dinner tonight too. So yeah.
There you go.
But
I like my white one better.
Do you?
Yeah, New Wineries, Beyond Mills, Pinot Green, 2019.
Cool. So, all right. Well, guys, we're back. All right, we'll be doing another show next week. Wait. We have. Okay, yeah, no, it's in the morning. I have an appointment next week. Yep, we'll be back next week. I'm sure we'll have a plan for what we're going to do.
We will. We promise.
September. All right, but you know what I mean? This is coming up on, we're at episode 31, but we started our podcast a little bit more year. Was it
November. It was the first Monday.
In November.
Yep. It was right when I started open enrollment that I thought, oh my goodness, right in the middle of open enrollment. But I knew that if we didn't start it then, we'd push it out till February.
Yeah. We will do something special for our anniversary show.
Yep.
All right, which is going to be coming up in 2 months. All right, maybe we'll get some stuff. We'll get you guys to actually party along with us. But I don't know what we're going to do for the month. I don't know if we're going to have a theme or if we're just going to do some random shows this month. I don't know.
Well, we're going to chat about it this week, and we will let you know next week. But stay tuned. Maybe we'll give you a little sneak peek before so that you know what to prep for, because I know some of you like to get the things and be ready and try with us. And other times we like to just surprise you like we did today. Thanks for our normal folks that are here visiting us, or depends. Are you considered normal, not normal?
Our listeners, I don't know. Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I put the Facebook link up there. All right. Make sure you like our Facebook page, as well as then this one here this is a link that will take you to our YouTube channel. We need a couple more subscribers on our YouTube channel. I know I've seen Cindy sharing that out for us. Share it out, folks, do me a favor. If you share it out to your social channels, help us get, 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel so we can get a YouTube, private address. All right. And for those of you who are subscribing and listening to our Apple and Spotify podcast, thank you so much. I am shocked at the numbers on Spotify and Apple. I really am. So.
Yeah, keep listening in, share our podcast, the YouTube. We're going to be doing some giveaways. We're putting together a few things. So Cindy has provided a few giveaways also, vacation. So share, y'all.
Yeah. So do all that and see what we got in here. Oh, Cindy saying, cool. We'll do something special. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cindy, for doing that. In the meantime, all right, I'll tell you guys a little bit about who we are and why we do this. All right, go ahead and share about your business there, Miss.
So I am Gladys Boutwell with Insurance by Design, helping small businesses with their employee benefits. I have a book, 101 Employee Benefits for All Budgets, that's coming out. If you have questions, message me. I will give you some details. I help those small businesses in Oregon, Washington, and California specifically, and I will connect you with brokers in your state. If you want some information, I will connect you. And you can go to Insurance Design Pros with an S at the end.com to check out my website. And this is Mr. Tim Gillette.
Yep. And guys, I all this thing with Simple Easy Marketing. Go to simpleeasyevents.com. All right, to find out when our next event's going to be. We actually do online marketing, virtual events, where you can learn the simple, basic steps, one step at a time, to become successful in online marketing. In the meantime, guys, we do this podcast every week, and we appreciate you for subscribing.
We'll see you next time.
All right, bye. Bye, guys.